rebels and powatiers, and welcome to another edition of Famicom Dojo.
You may have noticed my voice sounded totally sweet there for a moment. The reason for this is that I was talking through this, the Famicom microphone, an often overlooked and rarely used feature of the original Famicom.
You have that?
It was featured on the second controller of every original Famicom made, as well as the Sharp Twin Famicom.
So, desu ne. What the? Temme. Hey, you know this guy? Oh no.
Today we will take a look at this unique piece of Famicom history in our Microphone Roundup. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! One of the most well-known games to use the microphone was Takeshi no Chosen, which is called Takeshi's Challenge, the game designed by the comedian and actor Beat Takeshi. Now in general, this is a pretty strange game. You play this salaryman, you can jump around, and you can hit anything. This is your boss, and he gives you your salary, which you... And then, I don't know, I usually punch him in the back of the head. Apparently the company profits are going down significantly. The graphics department, I think, was the first one hit. Here's some guy, I'm gonna punch him. There's a woman, I'm gonna punch her. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto. Okay, now that I beat up the police, I can go in here, and there's one of the bar hostesses. I can beat her up, I suppose. Now, there's a few things you have to accomplish in this game before you can actually sing the karaoke. You also need to get good and drunk first. I'll drink some shochu. Keep drinking. Now, if I keep drinking too much, I'll have to go home and fight my wife and kids. But eventually, you'll be given the option of doing it, and you will sing along to a song with this microphone. Let me improvise right now what I think the song might possibly be. And more, much more than this, I did it my way. Game over. On the karaoke game, the microphone isn't actually sophisticated enough to tell if you were singing the right words. It's just trying to pick up if you're starting and stopping in the right places. If you wanted to, you could get by easily just humming into the microphone. Of course, microphone technology has advanced by leaps and bounds since then. Blue. Blue. Blue! Yeah!
What?
Moving on. It was also used in the Japan exclusive title Atlantis No Nozo. So this is Atlantis No Nozo, and it was one of the games to use the second controller's microphone, but in a very limited way. You're playing through this game. This game has 100 different levels, and I have yet to beat the first one. But in one of the much later levels, you will find an item, a microphone item, which will allow you as a special ability to yell into the microphone, "Hey there!" or whatever else you want, which will freeze many enemies in their places. Unfortunately, I'm not skilled enough to get to that place in the game, but maybe our good friend Sean can, so I'm gonna send him this game right now.
Weird.
Yeehaw! They also made some karaoke games for the system, which sadly I've been unable to acquire, but I'm thinking that it would be very hard to play them, since the microphone cord is only about this long. I can imagine... Oh, this isn't even controller 2, this one is. But I can imagine going down to try to sing some karaoke, but I just don't I just don't think it would work. Maybe if I picked up the system and sang along with that, it would work. But it just doesn't seem to be a very effective thing. That's possibly why you never really hear much of these karaoke games today.
Actually, Karaoke Studio was an add-on by Bandai that had a cartridge adapter and its own separate microphone. But Vic doesn't need to know that.
Yeah! One game that used the microphone that is definitely remembered is the classic Legend of Zelda. And I'm going to have Sean once again tell you a little bit more about that. Take it away, partner.
As we've mentioned in previous episodes, there are many differences between the disc system and cartridge versions of The Legend of Zelda. The instruction booklet makes mention that the Pole's voice hates loud noises. However, try as you might, none of the in-game items will work. This actually refers to the Famicom microphone. All you have to do is make a loud noise into it and... In subsequent games, however, including the broadcast Satellaview version, musical instruments in the game can be used to slay the Pole's voice. In Zelda Phantom Hourglass for the DS, Pole's voice can be found in the Temple of Courage. Blowing or shouting into the DS microphone will stun the enemies long enough for you to get a hit on them. Blue. Blue. Blue! It's blue.
Yeah!
Peninsula no Kagami, aka Kid Icarus, also made use of the microphone feature by allowing you to bargain for lower prices in the shop. And in fact...
Yeehaw!
What?
Thanks, partner. As cool as this feature was for the few games that used it, even Nintendo eventually got bored with it. They rarely put it in games, and when the NES, of the American version of the Famicom, was released, they took it out altogether.
I'm still a man. Oh, Moji.
The games that used it were either changed to not needed or just never released outside of Japan. In fact, when Nintendo of Japan a few years later re-released the Famicom as the new Fami with AV outputs, they took the microphone out of the second controller. Perhaps the microphone was just ahead of its time. Nintendo thought so. They brought it back with the Nintendo 64 game Hey You Pikachu. And when they released their Nintendo DS, both models, the Lite and the regular, had a microphone built right in. And it's used in a number of the games. Well, that concludes our microphone roundup. Yeah! See you next time for a new episode and a better theme. Yeehaw!
ファミコン道場次回
面白かったですね。あの紳士たちは役に立ちました。Did I miss something? Who's he?
これは実際の音だ。